Today I'm going to show you how to make an in-place seated jump scare. This is similar to the Poppy Playtime jump scare, where you get caught and jump scared in the same spot and all the other players can see you getting jump scared. So step one, you need to have a system that already follows players. The stuff behind me is the RCL_follow_V4 invention that we made a few videos ago. If you want to learn how to make that, it's in the link in the description. But we're going to start with this invention. Starting from this point, what you need to do is what I call an orientation click. All you need to do is quickly add the roll and remove the roll so that it's following you. This is going to make sure that when you do add your monster to it, that it's oriented so that it's actually facing you. If you didn't do that beforehand, it might end up upside down or sideways because it's pointing straight up. Now you want to get your monster and put it on the look at gizmo. Today we are using Barry that we made a couple of episodes ago. Now you want to move your monster so that his face is at the look at gizmo. So I've grabbed Barry by the face and you can see the look at gizmo there, and so I just kind of push that arrow through his face. His legs and his feet might go through the floor. You can adjust that later. All right, so now you want to go into the maker pen and get a CV2 seat. You're going to spawn it in, and then you want to make sure that this arrow on the front is pointing toward the monster. And I would also say, you know, don't have it so close to your monster, probably pull it out a little bit. I would actually say to get on the seat a couple of times and just see where it is and then adjust accordingly. You want to configure the seat so that it's visible only when gadgets are visible. And I would say also turn seat collision off. Now you want to get two animation gizmos. You want one for your walking animation and one for your killing animation. So this next part is kind of complicated. You need to make sure that all of the different parts of your monster that are going to be moving, for us it's going to be the arms and the legs, are all separate objects so that you can animate them all separately. Also, you want to configure each object of your monster so that they can be modified with circuits. If you need more detail on how to do this, there's another tutorial about walking animations. It's in the description. However, I will say beyond that point of formatting, this animation is a little bit different. This is where we kind of deviate from the other walking animation video I did. What you're going to do is hit select on your maker pen, and you're going to select every part of the monster, even the parts that don't move. Just select every bit of them, and you're going to select the seat. So you now have all of this selected, and then you're going to wire all of those to the little circular bit on your first animation gizmo, and you're going to do the same thing and attach it all to the second animation gizmo. So now you want to wire the black part of the animation gizmo, wire that to the gold pin on the look at gizmo, and do that for the second animation gizmo as well. Just a bit of warning here, if you do go hit add roll and try to get it to follow you right now, it will not follow you unless at least one of the animations is on. So here I've changed the one animation gizmo up here from a 0 to a 1. And now if I hit the add roll, it'll start to follow me. Okay, so at this point you want to start doing your animation. You're going to open your maker pen, you're going to hit edit. I'm going to click on the top one or the bottom one. For me, the top one's going to be the walking animation. The bottom one is going to be killing animation. I kind of covered the walking animation in another video, so I'll fast forward that, but then the killing animation, I'm going to try and at least show you a little bit of what I did. I will mention for the walking animation, don't mess with the seat at all. You can just leave it alone, leave it where it is. But when you get to kill animation, then you can move the seat. So I got done with my walking animation. You know, it's not super detailed or whatever, but it's doing what it's supposed to do, which is walk. So now when you go to do your second animation, you want to go ahead and make sure the first animation is not playing. I'm going to do this with a CV1 button. All I'm going to do is configure that 1 to be a 0, and then I'm going to hook up the red pin. It really doesn't matter which pin you use. Hook that up to the green and just hit it, and it'll just stop where it is. I would say just the way that I've done it here is I have the first keyframe, which is just like the normal pose that it's in, the second keyframe where the monster is going to reach out to the player, and then the last keyframe we will have it fully just going up into the monster's mouth. I would also say for the jump scare animation gizmo, the bottom one for us, you're going to configure it to stop at start. This next part, you need to make a CV2 to CV1 converter. I have another video, which I will also put in the description on how to do that. I'm sorry. For this one, I'm going to give the cube the tag of activation cube. And then when I want to add the tag to it later, the tag we're adding is going to be start kill animation. So player enters the trigger zone by getting caught by the monster, right? Then it'll send a signal to the add tag. It's the add start kill animation tag onto the cube, which is called the activation cube. Okay. This CV1 trigger zone is configured just to detect objects and to detect objects with the start kill animation tag. After a delay of 2 seconds was the same amount of time that our kill animation lasts, then we want to remove that start kill animation tag from the cube in here. So now we are going to add some CV1 circuits to the trigger zone over here to flip between your walking animation and your killing animation, and also to start and stop the look at gizmo that's attached to it. So in order to do that, we need to get a comparer chip. We're just going to wire the green pin. By the way, the green pin is the only one that works with this system. So we're going to wire the green pin on the trigger volume to the red pin on the comparer. We are going to wire the red pin to the red input on this is the walking animation gizmo. And then we're gonna wire the green pin to the green on the walking animation. Now we wanna do the opposite for the other one. So the red one goes to the green on the kill animation, and the green goes to the red on the kill animation. Then you also want to wire the red output here to the red input on the look at gizmo. All right, so now if I hit the trigger zone, it's going to activate the kill animation. All right, now it's time to deal with you, Seatboard. First, let's configure it and let's detach. Then we're going to move it over there before the add tag. Then we're going to disconnect player entered. We're going to connect it to the seat, connect the player to the player in the seat, then seat success to add tag. Now, because of the way that the system is built, we've actually got to do this a different way. We need to remove the follow roll, which for us is tasty clone. So now we need to get a remove roll chip and put it in between these two. Go ahead and disconnect these, connect the player enter to the player remove roll, connect the player remove roll to the seat, and then we're going to connect the player to the target, and we're also going to connect the player to the seat on the player. Then, as I said before, the roll we want to remove is tasty clone. Now we can come over here and we can wire the remove tag to the unseat player. So next we're going to respawn the player after they get jump scared. I'm going to use a set position chip, but there's a couple of things that go with that, and I'll explain them as I hook them up. So from messing with this, I know that when we do the set position, we're going to need the player that's in the seat. But by the time we run that, they'll already be out of the seat and it won't work. So we have to get a player variable chip. And we're going to hook it up for the run. And then we connect it to the seated player. So now you'll hit the trigger zone, it'll remove the roll, it'll seat the player, it'll start the killing animation. While it's doing the animation, it will get the player and put it in the variable. And then once it removes the tag to finish the animation, then it will unseat the player. Now we need a set position. We're gonna wire the unseat player, do that. We want the target to be the player that we have over here at the player variable. Now the position you have to make yourself. What I'm going to do is just use a vector create. I'm going to make the position that it sets it to 0, 10, 0. This will basically just spawn the person on the roof of this kind of basic room that we have. You would think that this would work, but it doesn't, because there's some weird bug that happens. I don't quite know what it is. We have to add in like an extra delay chip, and then we're just gonna attach the unseat player to that delay, leave it as 0, and then do after delay to set position. So now if I hit the trigger zone, it will put me in the seat, it'll do the jump scare animation, and then it will throw me up top. This specific invention, because it works when anybody has the roll, we have to add in an extra thing to get it to stop when a person is being jump scared. So for that, we've got to add in a bool variable. So to start off with, we want to get a bool variable. And from testing and everything, I know that we need to define the bool before we remove the roll. I do want to leave it as false. So whenever a player enters the trigger zone, turn this bool to be false. Then we're going to clone it and we're going to add it to the very end after the set position. And when we do this, we want to connect this, but then we also want to make it true. Now we've got to go add in this new bool to the original circuits. Basically what we're doing is we're adding an extra thing that needs to occur for this if to be true, or for this if to happen, for it to start following people. So for that we need an and we're gonna go get that same bool from earlier. So I'm gonna go over there and clone the bool again. All right, so we are going to disconnect that. We are going to connect the result from the and chip to the if chip. We're going to connect the is valid to the top input, the bool variable to the bottom input. Now the bool has to be true, and there has to be a player that actually has the roll for it to start following people. Okay, we're almost done, you guys. We've got 2 more steps from what I see here. Step number 1 is to attach the trigger volume V2 to the front of your monster. We want to wire this whole trigger volume to the gold pin on the look at Gizmo. The bool variable, this one right here, needs to be set to true whenever the room starts. So what I'm going to do is clone this event receiver, and I'm going to configure it so that it is on room reset. And when the room starts or is reset, we want to set this bool variable to true. We also need to lock the players into the seat so that they can't get out. Going over here, changing the lock players in to true, and I'm gonna connect the orange execution from this bool variable all the way over here to the lock players in. All right, he is in fact chasing me. Jump scare, respawn. If you made it this far and you're a little confused, don't worry. On Saturday, I'm gonna do a live stream, I'll leave it right here, where I build this entire thing live so you can see everything that I'm doing. You wanna see me threaten a child? Go check this video out here. Use code RCL1 to help me out. Bye. Hey, what's going on, 9%? Thank you for making it this far in the video. Should I make a video where I tell like the entire ordeal that I went through to make this video? Let me know, I appreciate you guys. Bye.